everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to be making this wreath card using products out of the upcoming 2020-2021 annual catalog, which will be available June 3rd for items to purchase. So let's get started. So to start with, we're going to use a piece of Pretty Peacock. This is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of the layering piece of the Forever Greenery Dsp. This is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And I'll just give you a peek. I know I've done this before, but just in case this is your first video, I'll give you a peek as to the other papers in this DSP pack. They're just so beautiful, and I've used so many already. I just wanted to let you see how gorgeous these really are. So, and this will be available in the new catalog as well. Okay, so we're just going to adhere this to our base. Like that. And then we're going to work on the middle piece here, this wreath piece, and we're going to use the Stamparatus for that. So let me pull that in, and I'll show you what I did to make the wreath. So I have a template here, and the way I cut the template, this is not my idea. This is, you can find many instructions on how to do this on YouTube, but this is how I did it. I took the largest layering squares framelit, and I put it this way through my Big Shot. Then when it was done, I turned it and I put it this way through my Big Shot so that I had a template for a wreath. Now let's bring out our magnets. And you see I have an arrow here, and that just lets me know which way I have it. Just in case everything moves on me or something, I can easily put it right back into place. And I always like to square that up at a square where the grid comes together. All right, let's just make sure. And then I'm going to put a piece on there here so this doesn't move. So then what I did is using the same die, and you can make this all different sizes depending on which size die you use. I like to use the larger one so I have a bigger space. I cut another piece of the Whisper White, and we're going to lay that right in the middle here. And then the stamp set we're using is Forever Fern. This is just gorgeous. I've done many samples with it on my Instagram. If you're interested, I'll leave my Instagram links below. But this is just a gorgeous set, and you're going to be able to use it all year round. So we're going to start, and we're just going to put the wreath piece right here, the leaves that we're going to use to make the wreath rather. And we're going to bring our plate over and pick it up. And then we're going to start with, we'll start with Pretty Peacock. It doesn't really matter which one we start with. We're going to be using Pear Pizzazz as well. And I don't think you can see the side, but all you do is just ink this up. Oh, it's hard to get this whole thing in the frame. And then we're going to just give it a good press and pick up. Now, if for some reason I didn't like the way that looked, like it wasn't dark enough, I could ink it up and do it again. But in this case, I'm happy with the way it looks. So we're going to take the square piece in the middle and we're going to turn it to this side. And then I'm just going to do the same procedure. I'm going to ink it up like that, and then turn it again. Get some more. There we go. Turn it again. And then this is our last one with this color. And then I'm going to turn it this way so we can fit in the other color. So we're going to be using the more diamond shape, I guess, the alternative And then let me just clean this off, this stamp, with my chamois here, because we're going to switch colors. There, I'm just going to put a piece of, just to make sure it's not wet. There we go. All right, so then we're going to take the Pear Pizzazz, and I just want to, before I start stamping, I just want to make sure this is lined up where I want it, because you can move it if it's not quite right. I think that looks good though. Okay. So again, we're just going to start inking it up and then pressing. And that one, I'm going to do that one again, just so it's a little bit darker. So I'm not going to move it, and I'm just going to press. There, I like that a little better. And then I'm just going to switch it again into the corners. And then I'm probably going to double stamp all of these just so they look the same. And you can see this is just going around nicely. And you can do this with others. If you use smaller elements, you can use a lot of different colors and different elements to work around this as well. This wreath is actually coming out a little bit nicer than the sample one I did. At least I think this one is a little bit better. Okay, there, last one here. There we go. Alrighty. So I'm just going to put this Stamparatus aside. You want to make sure you never leave the plates in the hinges, because if you press on it, they can break. So we'll put that aside. And then what I want to do is I want to come in with some soft sea foam just to give it a little more, a little more. We'll leave it at that. And then this, you could have done this in the Stamparatus, but this is just random, so you can just hand do it, and I'm just adding these little dots. All right, there we go, that's set. All right, so now we're going to put this aside for a minute, and we're going to work on our hello, our sentiment, this piece right here, and I did emboss that. So we're going to take our hello. This is still out of the same stamp set. We're going to use, now the embossing buddy is retiring, which I'm not sure why, because I use mine all the time. I know some people don't use them when they emboss, but I definitely prefer it. I'm going to bring in a smaller piece of scrap so I can dump my embossing powder on it. And I'm just going to line this up in the corner just so I have less to cut. This small of a piece is hard to do. That's a little crooked. Let's try that again. Oh, we'll try this side over here. Sorry if my head is in the way while I'm looking. Okay, that's a little bit better. We can always trim it if we need to. I'm going to bring in my embossing powder, sprinkle some on, tap it off. That looks good. And then we'll put the extra right back in. Okay, just going to take a quick minute to heat this up. Oops, my cord is caught. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Now, I am going to trim this down here too, even though I was trying to avoid that, but and then there, perfect. There we go. Okay, so let's finish putting our card together. I have a piece here of the gold foil, and that is cut at 3 inches by 3 inches. And that's just a layering piece for our wreath. Let's see, it doesn't really matter, it all looks the same. There we go. This is now going to go onto our base, and we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. Here we go. These pesky backs. Okay, so we're just going to center that. Well, not center, I'm putting it towards the top, but center left to right. Right there. And then with our hello, I'm going to use a mini dimensional. Let's see. Use my take your pick tool to get that off. Make sure I'm putting it on the right end where the O is. And then I'm just going to put a little snail on the other side to anchor it onto our wreath. Alrighty. We're going to put that right here. There we go. Very nice. And then I have some gold twine. This is a part, these two come together, and it's the Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack. And this gold does fray very, very easily. So I just kind of go with it and let it fray. But I am going to cut it for the ribbon. But after I'm done, see it already frayed. That was just a lot of fray. So I'm going to come up here and just make a cute little bow. Oops. Let's try that again. There we go. Whoops. Just pull that. And then I'm just going to fuss with it to get it the size I want it. This side needs to come up a little bit. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to trim the ends again. And like I said, the ends will fray. I just go with it. It adds to the project, in my opinion. So I'm going to take a glue dot. And because this is so skinny, the ribbon, I'm going to just roll it with my finger so it's in a roll. And then adhere. Let's see which way I want this to go. This looks good. Just adhere that there. And then we're just going to put it right here at the start of the hello, like that. And then I have the gold. Where did I put them? Somewhere. I can take this pack. I do have a pack open already, but I'm not sure where it went. These are the Gilded Gems, and they're gold. And these are in the new annual catalog. These might be actually available to purchase already. I think they came out with the Ornate suite that was available to purchase early. They already have adhesive on the back, so we're just going to pick them up and plop them right down where we want them on our project. And that is all there is to it. So here's our original. The wreath came out a little bit differently, just the way I had it positioned. And here's the one we made. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're not already working with the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love a chance to work with you. Thanks so much for watching. All of my links will be listed down below.